What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to tonight's Anfield Agenda 10-minute transfer roundup. I'm going to be talking all things Liverpool related, mainly Darwin Nunez tonight. But before I get stuck into it, a couple of little things as always. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about any of the topics I speak about. Drop a like on the video, hit the subscribe button for me. And of course, if you don't know already, if you want to catch Anfield Agenda live this season, you will catch us over on Twitch. Most nights about 8:30 till 10 o'clock. Myself, Paddy and Chris will be live over there, or sometimes mainly just me. And again, the link to our Twitch channel is in the description of the video. Thank you for your time. Let's get stuck into it. Darwin Nunez, will he end up at Liverpool? Will he end up at Manchester United? He'll end up at Liverpool, as I've said for the last couple of days. The reason being, and I know this will annoy some Manchester United fans, but you're not as attractive a proposition right now as Liverpool are to a player. He wants Champions League football. He's already spoken to Jurgen Klopp. And there was reports around today that Manchester United had made an 11th hour bid to try and wrestle Darwin Nunez away from Liverpool. And it just, to me, looks like United are getting desperate because they brought in Eric Ten Hag and they seem to be missing out on target after target after target for the past couple of seasons. I mean, just cast your mind back to Fabinho, to Thiago, and now to Darwin Nunez. How many of these type of welcome to Manchester United videos have we seen in the past couple of years with players who've ended up at Liverpool? And I'm all for it. More of this, please. But look, realistically, getting back to it, I mentioned his wages yesterday when I spoke to you guys. Been given an update on that today. And it'll be a little bit higher than I'd first reported. The rumoured wages that Darwin Nunez will be on at Liverpool is around about £90,000 per week. I'd mentioned 70 to 80 to you guys previously. But again, still much more affordable than other targets that we may have looked at, whose wages would probably be 2, 3, 4 times higher than we will pay Darwin Nunez. Transfer fee, that's still being negotiated between the two clubs. There isn't a huge disparity in valuations here. What I do have to say, and I haven't seen this widely reported, they have to pay a 20% sell-on fee to Almeria, who they bought Darwin Nunez from when he arrived to Benfica for €24 million, if my memory is correct. Now, what I don't know is if that 20% sell-on clause is after they recoup the 24 million. So if it's sell-on the profit, I don't know. But either way, there's 20% that would have to go to Almeria. So keep that in your mind when you see these transfer fees and how they're structured, because it could make a difference. So we'll wait and see. But either way, if Darwin Nunez, or I should say when Darwin Nunez arrives and becomes a Liverpool player, he will most likely be the club's record transfer fee when all the dust settles. Virgil van Dijk currently £75 million. I'd say Darwin Nunez will creep above that with the achievable add-ons. And but the reason I'm saying achievable is you've probably seen the ridiculous add-ons that Bayern Munich were trying to insert in the clause for Sadio Mane, which would have seen them have to win the Champions League 3 years in a row and Mane win the Ballon d'Or 3 years in a row for that 4 or 5 million quid to be achievable, which, you know, I like the way Bayern Munich are being optimistic, but I think the odds of those things happening consecutively are pretty slim. So Liverpool won't sell Sadio until we have the deal for Darwin Nunez signed, sealed and delivered. He has spoken to Jurgen Klopp, and that was the big point for me. Once I heard Darwin Nunez spoke to Jurgen Klopp, I was kind of happy that Klopp would convince him, because what you have to take into account here is Liverpool have spent a long time like monitoring Darwin Nunez under Jurgen Klopp. So I can't really knock Ten Hag or his scouting or anything like that. But ultimately, his people haven't been at work for Darwin Nunez. Klopp's people have. We've watched them many, many times. We've obviously played against Benfica this season in the Champions League. And Jurgen Klopp would have been able to explain to Darwin Nunez precisely how he thinks he will fit into a squad, how he will evolve at Liverpool, obviously how he will be idolised by the Liverpool fans, and how he can turn him into a Robert Lewandowski, to a superstar. And I think that, coupled with Champions League football, coupled with the fact that he's played against us this season and he knows what he can expect to experience at Anfield, and he knows how much Liverpool fans get behind their players, I think all of this to Darwin Nunez just seems like a match made in heaven. And that's understandable. You know, I had to live through the 20-year period where United were dominating and bringing in all the best players, and Liverpool weren't quite as attractive a proposition as United. And now those roles kind of reversed a little bit. Both clubs will always be a lure to players, but right now we can offer Champions League football regularly. We can offer Darwin Nunez the capability of playing with better players than Manchester United have. Manchester United have some good players. I'm not here to knock United, but I do feel, yeah, I'm going to say, I do feel like Manchester United are starting to look a little bit desperate. And I don't think it's a good look for a club like Manchester United. He made it clear he wants to come to Liverpool. He will end up at Liverpool Football Club. And there will be, look, people said to me, but Craig, this journalist said this, that journalist said that. Remember, some of these journalists, and I'm not speaking about the written journalists here, so the James Pearces, the Paul Joyces, those type of guys who write articles about football all year round. There are some journalists that exist only in transfer season and only for transfer stories. And it's in their interest to make sure that this story drags on or has as many potential twists and tales or twists and turns as possible. Remember that when you read these things. So for me, I'm not fussed about it. It'll happen when it happens. It is going to happen. He will be a Liverpool player. And United will have to look elsewhere. Other couple of bits and pieces. Karius will be leaving the club. His contract is up. He'll move on. Divock Origi is going to move on. We knew that. He's going to go to AC Milan. A couple of other fringe players as well who will move on. But the thing that surprised me the most is that FSG are willing to invest so much money in a forward. And I have to say, I like it. I like that they're backing Jurgen Klopp. I do understand that we will recoup money, of course, by selling Sadio Mane. Whether it's for somewhere between 30 and 40 million, we'll wait and see what the end figure is. We will look to move on Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who I don't know where this came about. Well, I do know where it came about, but I don't even mention their name. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's been linked to Manchester United. You heard me right, my friends. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has been linked with Manchester United. I don't know what to say to you. You know, we have an island, bullshit island that we like to speak about, and this story for me firmly belongs there. I mean, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain at United, could he do a job there? Perhaps. Will he go there? Very doubtful. Even though I think we are at a time where, with both clubs having American owners and FSG and the Glazers kind of having a decent rapport behind the scenes, I still don't see it happening. Although it's probably, the clubs are probably closer aligned than ever, as much as we don't like to admit that on certain things. Other transfer stories, well, I spoke to you guys about Connor Bradley, Calvin Ramsey, that will be sorted out in due course. I'm interested to see what goes on with Caoimhín Kelleher. If you guys aren't aware, Ireland's other goalkeeper, Ireland's other goalkeeping talent, apart from Caoimhín Kelleher, is Gavin Bazunu. Gavin Bazunu is about to move from Manchester City, where he hasn't played any first team football I'm aware of. He was on loan at Portsmouth. He's about to move to Southampton for a figure believed to be about 10 million quid. That'll be a great deal. The reason I bring it up is I wonder what happens with Caoimhín Kelleher. Will he go alone this season, or will Jurgen Klopp find a way to give him some more minutes? I'm intrigued to find out. Other stuff to bring you guys. Club very confident of a renewal of Naby Keita's contract. I know this divides Liverpool fans, but for me, look, if Naby's happy to stay, if the club are happy to give him a new deal, brilliant, I'm all for that. Takumi Minamino, there was some talk that Minamino was offered as a make-way or a part exchange or whatever phrase you want to use in the Darwin Nunez deal, but that Benfica didn't have an interest in Takumi Minamino. Still say it's worth keeping an eye on Leeds for Minamino, as obviously Jesse Marsh, who he's worked with before. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting about here? James Milner, we spoke about. I think that pretty much brings us to the end of it, and I'm only 8.5 minutes in, so I owe you guys about 90 seconds. So yeah, look, basically the gist of this is, don't be stressing about Darwin Nunez. Liverpool will get their man. Manchester United are looking increasingly desperate, which is understandable because they're in a rebuild, and it's not a good look, though. It's not a good look. I will add that. So look, I will be back same time, same place tomorrow. If anything breaks in the meantime, you can, of course, expect a video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, have your notifications turned on, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.